Hey everyone, it's Stephen Wagner here, and I'm going to be covering how to deploy, install, and configure Microsoft Office 365 in a VDI environment. Back in August 6th of 2021, I created a blog post that went into this specific procedure in detail. It's been one of my most successful blog posts on my blog since then, even today getting a ton of traffic. The post is still relevant, and so I thought I would do a accompanying video to demonstrate the process of how to indeed deploy, install, and configure Microsoft 365 in a VDI environment. So if you jump over my blog, link is going to be in the description. I cover everything from how to, from what the requirements are. You need to have either Microsoft 365 apps for Enterprise or Business Premium because it requires something called SCA, which is Shared Computer Activation. You're going to need to have Azure SSO, whether you're doing seamless SSO or hybrid domain joined, non-persistent VDI desktops with the PRTs, primary refresh tokens. And then it also has links to the tools that you require to deploy this. So I won't get into it too much. This is a very long, lengthy blog post. But in this video, I'm actually going to show you a very brief process of how to do this. So with that being said, let's get started. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up our VM. This is a brand spanking new virtual machine. It's prepped. I've got the Horizon agent installed on it. And essentially, we're going to be starting from scratch. So the first thing that you're going to need is the Microsoft ODT. This is the Microsoft Office Deployment Toolkit. And we're just going to download this. Execute it. And what I do with a lot of the environments and deployments I actually create an IT folder in the Windows directory just to hide things from users. We're going to use the self-extracting tool, create a folder called ODT in there. And we're going to head over to that directory. So you'll notice that after we download the ODT, it actually comes with a pre-configured template. We don't want to use this, but I just want to show you what's inside. So essentially, this is just a default generic installation. It's going to do Office 365 Pro Plus Retail. Auto updates are going to be configured, which we don't want. So essentially, this is completely garbage to us because we have very specific requirements with it being a non-persistent VDI environment. So we're going to go ahead and permanently delete that file. Now, we're only left with the setup.exe file, which we do need. So the next step is that we have to create our configuration XML file. So to do that, we're going to head over to config.office.com. And most people, when they go here, they're probably going to want to click sign in. You don't have to, just keep scrolling down. At the very bottom of this page, you're going to see the option to either import a configuration or create a configuration. So we're going to click on create. And so essentially, this is a web-based tool that you can create your installation XML file for the ODT, the Office deployment tool. So we're going to do 64-bit. We're going to, in my environment, I have Microsoft 365 Business Premium, so I'm going to choose Microsoft 365 Apps for Business. However, if you have any of the E3, E5 offerings, you're going to want to choose Microsoft 365 Apps for Enterprise. So we're going to choose that we do not have Visio, no project, no additional tools. We're going to leave it on the current update channel, even though we're going to be disabling auto updates. We're going to choose the applications. Now, one thing to note is that some of the choices here are for OneDrive and Teams. Now, the thing is that when you install OneDrive into a non-persistent VDI environment and when you install Teams, whether classic Teams or the new Teams, you never want to use the versions bundled in with Office 365. For non-persistent VDI environments, you need to use the bootstrapper for the new version of Teams. There's also an MSI that's available for the classic Teams. And then as far as OneDrive goes, we don't want per user installations, so you would use OneDrive with a special switch on the installer to do all users. So we're going to exclude OneDrive. We don't need access. You might. We're going to keep Outlook Classic, PowerPoint. We're going to remove Teams. We don't want the new Outlook. We're going to get rid of Publisher. Click Next. We're going to choose our primary language. So we're going to pull the files from the Office Content Delivery Network. I don't care about showing the installation to the users, so I'm going to uncheck that. Now, this is a very critical moment here when we're choosing how to update and upgrade. In a non-persistent VDI environment, it's the IT staff that handle the upgrades, whether you have an automated deployment method for your golden images, or if you're using manually created images, you'll be handling the updates on day 2 maintenance. So we want to uncheck automatically check for updates because we don't want instant clones or non-persistent VDI VMs after being provisioned reaching out to get updates. If they do, and if they install the updates, the moment that the user logs off and they get a refreshed desktop, that process is going to be starting all over again. So you'll essentially you could have hundreds or even thousands of virtual machines, VDI virtual machines, that are reaching out to Microsoft servers, grabbing updates, installing, and then you're just reverting them back to the golden image. So that's why it's critical that we have automatic updates disabled. We don't care about the rest of the settings. License and activation, we're going to automatically accept the licensing terms for the users. And this is another pivotal point inside of the process of creating the XML file. We need to choose shared computer activation. That's SCA. So what shared computer activation does is it will activate the version of Office or Microsoft 365, and it creates a token that's stored inside of the user profile. So then essentially whatever you're using for user setting persistence or user profile persistence, whether it's Dynamic Environment Manager, FSLogix, or some other type of profile persistence, you'll want to make sure that the token is either handled by that platform, or you can go a step further by clicking on allowing the license token to roam and actually specifying a network location. Now, if you're using DEM and if you have the templates enabled, or if you're using FSLogix, we don't need to specify the location because it will get stored. However, we do want to make sure that shared computer is chosen here. We're going to type in our company name. And we're going to click Finish. We're going to export this configuration. We're going to call this SWIC0365. This is going to download the file, and we're going to want to stick this in the location that we have the ODT. And so now we're pretty much all good to go to install. So I'm going to open up an administrative command prompt. We're going to navigate to the staging folder that I created. And we are going to run setup.exe/download and then the file name of the XML file that we created. And so what this is doing right now is it's downloading the bits required for the installation that we configured inside of the config.office.com portal. This download switch only downloads the files, and then after this is completed, we'll go over the switches to actually install and update. So you'll notice that after executing, it just returned back to the command prompt. If we take a look at the folder, now you'll notice that there's an Office folder inside of this directory that contains all the installation files required. So we can jump back to the command prompt, and we're going to run the exact same command, only we're going to change /download to /configure. And what this is going to do is install Microsoft 365 or Office 365 on the golden image using the XML options that we originally chose inside of the portal. Now, this is to install it. If we're talking about day 2 maintenance, let's say that because we've disabled auto updates, let's say 2 weeks come by, you want to update Office, or let's say it's a couple days later and some type of critical Office security vulnerability was released and patched. The process to update Office in your golden image is completely identical. you're going to want to hang on to the XML file because that's going to have your configuration options. And when it comes time to update, you're just going to boot up the golden image. You're going to type in the exact same download command, setup.exe/download, and then the XML file. That will download the new version. And then after that's completed, you're again just going to run setup.exe/configure and then the XML. And that will actually update the existing Office installation. So the identical two commands, if the system doesn't have Office, it will install it. If the system does have Office, it'll just update it. So it's a pretty simple and straightforward workflow. And so now that that command is completed, we'll open up our programs and features, and you'll see that Microsoft 365 Apps for Business has been installed. So it's pretty much considered to be successfully completed. And at this point, you would just continue on to do anything else that you need in the virtual machine, optimize, finalize, seal it, do anything else you have to, and you'd be able to push the snapshot and it would have Office. So that takes care of the majority of the installation process. Now, with deploying Microsoft 365 inside of a VDI environment, there's additional steps. So once the software is installed into the image, that's when we have to start considering all the other considerations that come with it, such as group policy objects, configuration of Office, and just making sure that everything is configured for a VDI environment. And so what I want to show you here is that on my screen, I have a GPO report on a group policy object that I've created to handle Microsoft 365. Inside of the blog post with the link in the description, I will have everything laid out there with all the minimum required settings that you have to configure for this. But I just want to take this opportunity to go through what I have configured. So even though we've turned on SCA inside of the XML, I still enable it in GPO. Technically, I don't think you have to. I just do it for good practice. Same thing with automatic updates. I disable them inside of the GPO just to make sure that there's no chance that somehow they could get re-enabled. And then of course, we also want to hide the option to perform updates from the users. And this is all done inside of the computer configuration. Now, inside of VDI environments, usually, I've never seen it not happen, but usually you always have loopback processing enabled. And so what I do here is for user configuration, I will go ahead and configure the preferences for the user that I would normally want to have. So inside of this environment, we don't want to have the first run movie. We want to disable the Office first run on boot. I could be wrong, but I think the Omnissa operating system optimization tool also disables this, but I do it inside of GPO just to be safe. I set my favorite theme. I tell it not to show the screen tips on the toolbars. We don't want our users touching any of the settings, so we want to make sure that we configure as many settings as possible for the users. So I'll go in here and just configure some basic account stuff, automatically configure the profile based on their AD SMTP address, and then I'll turn on caching. Now, in my example here, I have it set up to cache the entire mailbox, which you would most likely not want to do inside of a production environment. So you'll have to adjust these settings on how you would like to have it deployed. Usually you'll have a very small amount just to avoid having gigantic OST files. Anyways, once you create that GPO object and you attach it to either a OU for a specific desktop pool or a higher OU for all your non-persistent VDI, essentially at that point, once you snap and push your snapshot to the pool, you should have a functioning Microsoft 365 install inside of your VDI environment. That's it. Anyways, I hope this video helped. Again, links will be inside of the description. Please leave a comment on the video or inside of the blog post if you have any questions. And as always, I'm always here to help. Feel free to reach out. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.